thank you all for joining me in this epic rant that we're gonna have. And I think Zen, you have one. So I just the floor is yours, man.
You fucking dumb motherfuckers. Fuck you, HBO. Fuck you, you fucking rat bastards at Time Warner Discover, Time Warner Discovery, whatever the fuck the company is name, okay? Why don't you discover learning about what the people actually want, you fucking pieces of shit? Like, I just had a fucking enough with you fucking bitches. It's bad enough you destroyed WCW years ago, okay? You completely sodomized the fucking DC universe, okay? Like you literally fucked the DC universe right in its ass, okay? Like Black Adam, you even teased the return of Superman just to cancel him. You fucking pieces of elephant feces. And I say this with the utmost disrespect. Like you guys are just pieces of shit. Okay? It's like you thought it would be a good idea to get the fucking worst character from Twilight and make him Bruce Wayne. Like you guys are just so like fucked up. You're not good people. I swear. It's like I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. Okay? Like it's bad enough like, earlier this year you canceled the reboot of Degrassi. Like, you broke all the hearts of the Canadians. You fucking just like you guys are just bad people, okay? Bad people. All right. And you know what? I swear on everything. It's like you canceled Winning Time. You don't just cancel it, okay? You cancel it with Larry fucking Bird smoking a fucking cigar with Red Auerbach in the locker room. What kind of shit is that? It's like, and then you give us that fucking bullshit montage. Okay, some little piece of shit could have done that at Starbucks. All right, this is like the equivalent. It's like if I guarantee you, if you guys made a show about Michael Jordan, you would end this shit with him losing in Orlando and say that's the story. Um, it's like what, like the fucking Pursuit of Happiness, the movie with Will Smith. They would end the movie with him crying in the bathroom at this train station, saying, "Oh well, this is his story." Okay, like this is worse. Like this is like ending Dawson's Creek before Joey fucked Pacey. Okay, it's just not okay. Like this shit's not okay. It's like look, the worst shit I ever went through in TV is like when they canceled Moesha with her little brother getting kidnapped. Like that was a slap in the face. It's like what kind of fucked up shit like is this? Like I wish you guys get I wish you guys get roaches in your assholes. That's how much I hate you guys. Fuck all of you guys. Like you just don't fucking do this. Fuck you. Fuck HBO. Fuck Boston. Like fuck all you guys. I really hope you guys get fucking like red ants in your nostrils, you fucking pieces of shit. I am not okay. You don't shit on Laker Nation like this. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, yo, like that is a difficult. I don't disagree with none of your points. If anything, damn, yeah, you kind of hit some singers there. Evan, do you agree with Zen on his points? Do you want to add anything to this? Like,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This pisses me off so much. Like they like let us on, like you know this whole shit about like we need more viewers. Like we're not sure if there's going to be a season 3, and they even pimped out Jeff Pearlman to come out and tell everybody on Twitter about like yeah, we need more viewers, more viewers. But then when you watch that little montage at the end of episode 7, it's obvious that they had no fucking intention of having a season 3. They were just going to end it here because this thing was costing them too much goddamn money. Because the job that crew was doing was fucking incredible. They were bringing back the late 70s and early 80s in incredible, like almost perfect fashion. Like, and I'm sure that what cut them down to 7 episodes this season, and what ultimately killed the show, was it just cost them too damn much money to do that kind of thing. And crews all over, they never get the freaking respect that they deserve. They work their asses off for these movies. Everybody talks about the writers and the actors and the directors, but nobody ever talks about the hardworking crew that makes all of these things work. And I mean, they're working long hours, busting their ass. And like, it just really pisses me off, because I've worked in that industry. My sister still works in that industry, and it's just absolute bullshit. So yeah, I'm really pissed, because it was obvious they had no intention of continuing that. And then to do that to the guy who wrote the book, whose material you're taking, and to like put him out, to pimp him out, knowing that you're gonna fucking cancel the show anyway. Like, that's some smarmy. I mean, I'm not surprised, because that's kind of shit that fucking Hollywood does. But that's some smarmy bullshit, and it just makes me sick. Like, yeah. Fuck HBO. It's no longer fuck Boston. It's fuck HBO.
And you would think they would want to do the right fucking thing after that bastard piece of shit of a thing called the 8th season of Game of Thrones. Like, how much shit do you guys just like to materialize?
Did you finish?
And another
did you
one
finish
they
it? Wait,
fucking shortened and fucking, they just shortened it and fucking just shoved it out there for everybody, like, with fucking shitty ass writing. George R. Martin didn't want to finish that story, and obviously they didn't want to either. Like,
yeah. No, it's
garbage.
And that's so that's the point. It's like Succession, I would say a great show, right? But that ending, I don't know. Like, some people were like, "Oh, they love," and I'm like, I don't know about that. Last of Us, that ending. I know it goes by the I know it goes by the game, but come on, like, that's not good. We don't want to talk about DC universe and the whole movies and the whole shit show that is. But at the same time, like, here's what annoys me. Like, like, studios demand, like, they demand like this GOT level of production, of value. It's like, yo, it's like Disney. Like, Disney sees, yo, you saw what we did with the Marvels shit. We want that and more, and we expect, like, that's our target. That's what we require. But we're gonna give you shit on the other end. Like, we're not gonna give you what you require, which is like artistic. Sometimes you need artistic freedom, and sometimes you have flops, and sometimes you don't. But at the same time, it's like, that is art in itself. It's not pretty at times, and it's kind of sad. And by the way, shout out to Who Spaces. He had a great point. Like, Winning Time was kind of like this new age way of doing kind of like basketball, like sports, kind of like you can probably say, like, even documentary style, or even like, it's a very good way to do sports history, and kind of like in its own way. Is it factually correct? No, but to a point, it's kind of like, it's a very interesting way, very artistic way. And they never gave Winning Time the opportunity. Again, it's high cost, but if you really think about it, you're either all in this project or you're not. And they just weren't. And that what sucks. It's like, if you can tell me, and just a point, they know if this was the last season, it would not end with Larry Bird winning that chip. It would have not, like, they would have done everything in their power to basically skip time, do something to make this work. Because if you tell me from the beginning of season 1, hey, we're not gonna have another season 3, this is your last season, work with it, then it's a whole different ball game. But no, it's basically, this is what you got. Like, hey, like, this is you're not gonna be renewed, so Put a 15 put a montage there and call it a day. And it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face. Like, it's a disrespect to the writers. It's a disrespect to the actors. It's a disrespect because we're all seeing the ratings. We're all seeing the viewership, but nobody in mainstream, nobody in like, think about this. Nobody is talking about the writer strike, the actors like that. No, nobody's talking about that. Is that in the main? Like, is that headline news? No, it's not. And it's unfortunate because that is like, we are such a demanding culture that we demand kind of like, fulfill us with all your like, give me a show, give me something to binge, give me something to watch. But then we're not really looking at the why we're not, like, why is everything being postponed? Why is things being canceled? Why did ESPN go through that, basically, like purge? Like, why are shows being canceled left and right? And it's like it's cost cutting. Again, studios are looking at their profits. They're looking at their pockets and how much they can make, and not what the viewers want. Again, it's your choice, people. If you want to keep, like, I just canceled my HBO subscription. I'll be honest, because like, I wanted to watch Winning Time, Last of Us. I did not watch the session, and I kind of binge watched it from the beginning. I'm like, okay, cool. And the whole DC stuff, like, I'm done with it. Like, I am done with it. So it's
The
like,
only Max we're dealing with, the only Max we're watching from now on is Max Christie.
exactly. So Max Christie is the only Max we're watching. And hey, for 15.99 or $15.99 or whatever it is, like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, the product, the streaming service that you guys have. I'm sorry, HBO. I'm literally disappointed in you guys. And I'm disappointed in the studios. I'm disappointed in, like, as a consumer. And hey, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't work in that industry. Evan has worked in that industry. He knows that. I've heard a lot of people that are writers or are actors or are basically even in the back end. Those little people that kind of that in the end credits, that basically do the muling work. It's like, yo, like, it's a filthy industry that doesn't get any recognition to those people. Doesn't really get any real recognition to, like, it's a very unfair system, and it's all about profiting. So
You know, the
Yeah.
problem that
Oh,
I
it's good.
have, is that right now you have writers um and actors. 99.9% of them are fighting for a living wage. This is not just all of George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, the names, the A-list names. It's not really about them. It's about the folks that make up the rest of the film. Like, come on, the average movie have at least 100 characters, 100 actors at the minimum.
yeah.
We only know the names of maybe 5 of them. The
Do you
rest of
know
those
what's
folks,
the average?
give me the average.
Right now, the lowest paid actor makes around an average of 11 million a year.
No,
Wow.
that can't be right. You talking about A-list?
No, I'm talking about below.
No, below that is no. No,
Yeah.
not 11 million. It's not
There's a
11
lot of
million,
like
Tony.
a lot of
Well,
low
yeah.
level just guys that are just getting the SAG minimum that are
Hmm.
not.
And then
Yeah,
it goes then upwards until, again, I'm looking here. The average.
yeah. It's not
Again, this
11
is
million.
Yeah.
no. I'm not saying million, thousand.
11,000. Okay, you said okay.
11,000.
Yeah,
No, I'm
hey,
sorry if I said million. No,
edit
it's
edit
thousand.
that in post. Edit that in post.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
no,
it's 11,000. Yeah. So
yeah,
so it's
11,000. That's not a
11,000,
living
and
wage.
it's, yeah.
And guess what? A lot of those folks that's making the 11,000, they're living in fucking Los Angeles or New York City, the most expensive places to live. It, Yeah, Evan, go ahead, man. I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah, I mean this is really disgusting. Like you said, like they're living in Los Angeles and New York, super expensive places to live, probably like sharing a room with someone, like it's 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 fucking disgusting. Like yeah, there's a lot of people that make really good money, in the movies, but there's a lot of people that just have a real passion for creating and making movies, and they bust their asses. And they're working like, 14, 18-hour days sometimes. A slow day for them is like a 12-hour day. So, yeah, like people don't fucking realize how much is put into everything that you watch. All this hard work of these unknown people you will never see, never meet. And, everybody talks about the actors and the directors, but nobody talks about the goddamn crew. And they are busting their ass. And, the other problem is the studio thinks they can replace all of us with fucking AI, even the goddamn, extra actors and stuff like that. Like it's fucking insane and like really disgusting. And like, I feel like, you know, putting the show to 7 episodes was also a preemptive strike because they knew what was happening. Because I'm sure they knew the climate, that there was going to be a possible strike and everything like that. So yeah, it's just typical shady garbage from these scum suckers in Hollywood, man. And that's the really thing that makes me so pissed off about this is that there are dudes, executives that make fucking millions of dollars every year that don't have a creative bone in their body off of other people's hard creative work, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, so there's a part here that I just wanted to add to, which is just is again, this is from CNN business section, and it's kind of crazy. Like,
And let's
act
can we also can before you read that, we'll also
sure.
like to note CNN is owned by Time Warner Discovery, same studio as HBO.
No, there you go.
Important
Yeah,
information.
important information. Normally, actors are paid 27.73 per hour. However, for an example, an actor who worked on a television show for 1 week was paid a minimum of 3,756. However, that that was within 1 week, and it's not every week in a year. So it's like it's only for that
Exactly. Yeah,
minor
you might
week.
only work maybe 7 weeks a year.
Correct. Also, these performers, the minimum amount of money for a performer must take home in 1 year to qualify for health insurance is $26,000. So you're not even racking that at all. So it's kind of crazy. And these are the comments that I kind of feel like again, it's the sleaziness behind it that kind of like I don't get. Like, here's the CEO for like on the Disney CEO Bob Iger said striking actors and writers demands are just not realistic. They are adding to a set of challenges that this business is already facing, that is frankly very disruptive. Again, like, here's the thing. The business side of it, we're not going to go into much more detail, but I'm to a point where it's like there's something that should be fair here. That's it, because like you're having these writers, you're having these writers, you're having these actors invest basically a passion to make this project work, X project, and then the studio unequivocally can decide, you know what, it did not hit a metric, let's just pull the plug. And I'm like, if that's the case, like if they pull the plug, it's like, what's the reason? Oh, because we're not getting the viewership. So why are we not getting the viewership? They equivocally put it on the show. Again, I'm saying that there's not a bad show. There are shows that are bad. Like, let's be frank. There's flops. There's absolute flops, and that happens in art. Like you have the Mona Lisas, and you have an inject. you have the wide spectrum, but but that's the nature of the business. That's how you discover gems. You have to pump out kind of like these and have like give the opportunity to the writer to have a good ending. The worst thing I and here, Evan, please, have you watched Lost?
No, actually, I have not watched Lost. I've
No, okay.
heard, and like I stayed away, and I'm glad I stayed away when I heard about like what happened in the finale and that. So like,
And that's
yeah,
my point. And for those who have not watched Lost or have not watched, fine. What I'm trying to get at is the trend. And let's just use GOT as an example. Great, great, great story. Just great production. You're hooked. Like and what was the villain? Sorry that I'm blanking. The Night King.
oh yeah, the Night's King,
The
yes,
Night's
Yeah.
King. Yeah, he's like this bad dude. This bad dude. And I'm like, oh my god, like bro, this is the boogeyman. This is the boogeyman. This is the boogeyman. And literally, I'm like, oh, this is the last season, so should be an epic fight. It's like
yep.
you're gone. It's like, yo, like
Tony,
what?
you remember the show? You guys remember the show 24?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you imagine if that show ended at 9:30 a.m.? Fucking pieces of shit. Like, but then on the last episode, well, he spent he spent the rest of the day grabbing lunch, and then he fought off a few terrorists. But by 8 p.m., he was at home enjoying a lovely dinner with his daughter.
Yeah, it's the fucking Coach Carter treatment. Like,
Yes, Coach Carter. Yeah, absolutely. But then they would have ended the game. They would have ended the game right when the boys went to practice and the doors were locked.
Yeah.
That's when they would have ended the game. The players tried opening up the door, and the doors never opened until their grades improved, and ultimately they did lose in the championship game. Yes, yes, fucking assholes, man.
Yeah, that's a good example. And that's kind of like the nature of this. It's like, yo, this this is not hard. Again, we are fans, we are Laker fans. This kind of hurts, and honestly, it kind of shines a bad. I feel like it's a bad light. Like it's honestly like think of the title, Rise of the Laker Dynasty, or like
Yeah, it's like
it never rose.
Yeah,
Never
they're talking about
like,
Showtime and never really get to Showtime. Like we got the buildings of Showtime, but Showtime is when Pat takes over and Magic starts to become the leader. That's Showtime, god damn it. And we got the prequel to Showtime is what
Winning time ended on a loss.
Yeah. Fuckers. Yeah.
Winning time ended on a loss.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and they made Larry Bird the fucking star of the fucking finale too.
Think about it. This like it could be even called racist if you think about it. Like this, bro. Like I don't know. I'm to the point where it's like I really do hope Netflix or another studio, somebody pick this up.
See,
Please pick it up.
I'm wondering if those days are dead. Personally, I'm like just because of this writer strike. Like because my sister worked in the industry and she worked for a show called Longmire and I think it was AMC.
Oh, I remember Longmire
for the first season, and then like they got dumped, and Netflix ended up picking them up, and it was great back then. But like Netflix is kind of the big villain in a lot of this thing that's going on with the strike, and they're kind of like the driving force to like what's caused this strike in a lot of ways. So yeah, like I'm wondering because part of their problem is that they're like just so far in debt because they've put so much money into production and their only revenue stream is bringing in more subscriptions. So like I mean, I don't know how they're going to be sustainable, and that's one of the big reasons that they're trying to like stick their feet in the ground and like not budge on this is because they need to cut costs. And so yeah, this whole thing is just it's Yeah, it's so fucked up on so many goddamn levels.
What's that? What's funny about that is I've seen an uptick, like a very significant uptick in Netflix, the animated section. Like it's
Yeah,
like for some reason, like I slowly but surely, like once you can see, like, okay, there's one anime, there's two, but now it's like, yo, you're pumping out three or four, maybe even 10 a year. Like they are pumping out animation, which I wonder if that's even more economical for them, because it's like you only have to do voice actors and just what the see. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like
yeah.
they're going in a different route at most, and it's
Hmm.
and yo, you know what? Let me talking about Netflix. I kind of have a mini rant, and this is Netflix, like HBO. So wait, HBO and Warner Brothers are the same entity, or they're just associated or something like that? Sorry, I don't know the infrastructure here too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they're all, like I'm not sure who's at the top of the pyramid, but they're all kind of like owned by the same conglomerate.
Okay, so Warner Brothers and HBO are so okay, I don't know about that. Okay, uh, I don't know the anyway. Warner Brothers. Let me just go to let me just go at Warner Brothers for a second, because they kind of, man, they really fucked up Superman. And I'm only saying this, and I have a point, and I'll make it quick for all those, because it's like, why are we talking about DC again? So it, because this actor, Henry Cavill, had another job in Mission Impossible, I think it was, where he had to have a mustache. He had to have a mustache, and then they forced him. They really forced him to basically be like, "Well, we need to shoot this, so we're just gonna CGI your mouth," and we all know how that went, which was just horrible. It didn't look right. It's like, yo, this is like, we couldn't reschedule this. We couldn't figure this out. We're just gonna push through. It made it worse. And then the only way to fix that movie was to make it 4 hours long. And then on top of that, like they made him quit The Witcher, which actually pretty good series, and then, and then they just canceled him in Man of Steel. So basically, he got like, okay, I have to quit something to make this work, and it's like, okay, yo, this there's something about this that just doesn't make sense. Like, and even The Witcher is probably the best example of like when shit hits the fan at the end, and you kind of like just let me just compile everything, just put it as a bow tie. Like, if you want to see how you bow tie something with shit, look at the last season of The Witcher, because it's ugh. But anyway, that's my rant. So what do you guys think? Are we done with winning time? Is it over? Or
Yeah,
so
fuck HBO.
fuck HBO, all right? Zen, are you still there? Maybe not.
Oh,
All right.
maybe we
So
lost that.
no, he's actually busy. But you know, eh, at this time, I think it's with what Evan said specifically. Like with this time, like the time of other networks pitching in to save a show, I do think it's behind us. I really do think and it's sad, and that's kind of like what makes this sadder, if anything, because it's, I don't know. We just have to wait for another one. I think there's a show it's going to be what, in Prime, or I'm not sure where is it. It's the Sterling Affair. I think the Donald Sterling.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the other. It's not Laker related, but it's the other sports, kind of
Yeah, the
like
sports related thing. Yeah.
the other sports related thing. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But in the end, like it sucks. Um, Nothing we can do about it. And for us Laker fans, at the recording of this, it's almost going to be preseason, and so we're right there. It's a month, so the only thing we can do is dive into that and hope for the best. And honestly, I would probably be motivated. I would use this as fire, man. Like I would use this like, yo, like we can't have this 2023-2024 season not be without a championship.
Exactly.
Let's be the motherfuckers who are basically with the cigar in the mouth and be like, we won this. Like we got this. So I expect this season to, and I'm gonna be high. I'm hyped right now. I am itching for basketball. I'm itching to see what these new Lakers actually, who they are and how they're gonna fit. A lot of question marks and a lot of expectations. A lot of good expectations. So I'm with it. But by the way, I do appreciate Evan, man. I appreciate you for joining us. By the
Hey,
way, Evan, you actually launched a podcast, if I'm not mistaken. Do you want
yes,
to plug that in?
yes, I did. I appreciate that. Yes, yeah, I've got my own podcast now called Hoops Zooted, and we're talking about basketball. You know, mostly Lakers basketball, but you know, also NBA related, and we'll talk about other sports. We were talking a little bit about NFL on the first episode, and we're also talking about cannabis and also consuming cannabis while we do the episode too. So yes, I'm very excited. This has been a long time in production. Like I've been trying to make this podcast for over a year now, and just trying to find the right co-host and just trying to get everything like settled in. So like, yeah, it's great to have the first episode in the can. And yeah, thanks for letting me plug it there for a sec. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me again. Always love to come and talk with you guys, man. It's always great.
Nah, it's always an honor like it's the thing that you know we kind of support each other. We are all Laker fan. You know, it's uh, we're not purple and gold minds without people like you and everybody who's watching and every like if you are interested, you know, if you have a comment, if you have something salacious to say about Zen, just comment below. Like shit, we comment back. It's, we don't like smoke. That's how we do things. But no, it's a very good podcast. I'm a quarter away through it. It's just, bro, to find time, that's another thing. Like it,
Yeah,
and here's the thing that, and going a little bit back on the waiting time, like the one thing that I really, that, and I don't know if you do this, Evan, but with the show, I kind of like to give it room to kind of like have a couple of episodes, then I can watch through them. Like I can't be like this waiting game. Like gotta wait for a week, gotta wait a week, and then like watch it, because then it's like I'm gonna be thinking about that, and then I'm not gonna be like, I like it's this thing like what's it called, Secret Invasion. I appreciated Secret Invasion more watching it from 1 to 6 than I did like watching it.
week to week.
Yeah, it's because it made more because if you view it as a movie, it kind of makes more sense. Like, okay, this is like a movie. Like it's just they kind of divided it. They kind of chopped it up, but it's actually a movie. Like that's what they did. That's what Marvel's doing. Which
Yeah.
let's just give a prayer for Marvel. But
Speaking of
Zen,
Marvel,
oh God,
speaking of Marvel, could you imagine if the MCU ended? Could you imagine if the MCU ended after Iron Man 2 with us thinking he's just an alcoholic? But HBO would have done that. HBO would have done that. And then at the end, they would have said, Tony gets sober. He finds some friends. Together, they save the universe against a guy named Thanos.
Exactly.
what is it with a flick of a with a snap of his fingers, he saves the universe.
Yeah, with the snap of his, yeah, with the snap of his fingers. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Yo, Zen. So, uh, I mean, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's a sad day for Laker fans in terms of like it's not what we expected, but it doesn't mean that we don't have a good season in front of us. So let's just see if we can have an epic season, and let's see, you know, let's F Boston, F HBO. Save. Hey, by the way, save money, people. Save money.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, 15.
and you know what? I want to
Yeah,
do
go ahead.
this. I want to shout out the folks from the show. First of
Oh
all,
yes.
Max Berenstein, Jim Heck, who created the show. Obviously, shout out to Jeff Pearlman. You know, he was a previous guest on our podcast, Meeting of the Gold Mines, who wrote the book that this is based upon. Sorry that the show based upon your book ended at page 11. Um, and we got to shout out to the, also um, Miss Sally Richardson, who beautifully executive produced, directed several episodes. She is amazing. Shout out to the cast, John C. Riley. Like, obviously, he's a comedic legend. This is arguably his best performance. For Jeannie Buss to do a complete 180, saying, "Hey, this is not the real Lakers story," to saying, "You know what? I watched this show so I can be able to see my dad." John C. Riley, outstanding performance. Kudos to you. Quincy Isaiah, you know, um, he did his thing as Magic Johnson. He really, like, Magic Johnson has a smile, folks. Without trying to sound funny, Magic Johnson has a smile that will light up the world. Quincy Isaiah captured that smile. Great performance. Adrian Brody as Pat Riley. Man, once he slicked back that hair, he was Pat. That was Coach. Um, Jason Siegel as Paul Westhead. Great performance. Very sensitive. Um, Solomon Hughes, for him to play such a complicated, and you can even just an intellectual person like Kareem, he did his thing. Um, there's so much more to the cast. Obviously, Brett Cullen that played Bill Sharman. Um, Julianne Nicholson that played Cranny McKinney. Hadley Robinson that played Jeannie Buss. Devon Nixon that played Norm Nixon. Spencer Garrett that played the late great Chick Hearn. Last but not least, Jason Clark with Jerry West. Look, I don't know if this show got canceled. He deserves an Emmy. He deserves an Emmy with his performance. Just iconic. To me, it was the best part of the show. Uh, I have never seen a person destroy trophies like Jason Clark. um, but
Yeah.
look, the cast, hey, to the cast and crew, we salute you. To everyone behind the scenes, we salute you. It like for a lot of us younger fans that didn't get to experience Showtime, hey, we it was a way to learn about a lot of the Showtime history and the Laker history. Lakers have a rich history. I do have confidence that eventually the story will be continued. I'm hopeful. But these studios got to get their heads out their asses. Like, you don't want to pay your performers, who that's why we're here. We're here for the performers. We're not really here. We're not loyal to the studios. We're loyal to the performers and the stories and the art. This is still an art. Um, care about Show some gratitude and appreciation for your consumers. And the Laker fan base is one of the biggest in the world, one of the most vocal. I hope Laker Nation stand up. They can't shit on our history like this. And you, once again, you dirty, grimy motherfuckers really thought, hey, we'll end it with Larry Bird. It's a happy ending. Like, do they, like, I guarantee you none of these motherfuckers ever had a hand job before. Endings are supposed to be happy, folks. Okay? That's why they call it happy endings. this is fucking horrible. Like, yeah, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. At the end, it seems the the studios wanted to cut your mic. Um, nah, it's yeah, it's not about the bottom dollar. It's this is an art, and you kind of have to have the performers, the artists, kind of perform. Hopefully we're in a better place sometime sooner, and I hope that there is an avenue because there are gyms out there. There are like golden goose, but you kind of have to have the room to let them breathe. That's all. And they kind of have to have the minimum wage to kind of like perform. That's just the minimum. It's life. This this is barbaric. So hopefully, hopefully we get to that place. Evan, any last words?
Just gonna say it. Yeah, you said it all there, man. People got to eat, man. So yeah, like, man, just fuck HBO is all I want to leave it at. And my podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Peace out, everybody.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Also, like, share, and subscribe. And if you found Zen's rant spectacular, please share this. We want to have eyeballs on this, and also we also want to have awareness. There's a reason why this strike isn't front and center. It's not. People view this as like it's just norm. Hey, these performers. We're not talking about Dwayne the Rock Johnson. We're not talking about all these A-listers, or we're talking about the people who are like, this is for the writers, for the people who are like, who don't get that level of money, who are severely underpaid, and also to the fact that studios need to kind of show up. That's all, man. Zen, do you want to close this out?
Fuck Boston. Fuck HBO. Fuck HBO. And also, here's another one as it hurts. HBO, fuck you for trying to convince people that Jon Snow was a remarkable character. He's the definition of mid. So is your whole company. Fuck Time Warner and Discover. And yeah, fuck you. Fuck the whole company. Yeah. So fuck HBO. We are out.